Shine, your light has come. Today is your day to soar. Prepare your heart and raise your voice. What are you waiting for? The old has gone, the new has come. Yes, we are born anew. The love and wealth he had restored cleanses the soul the more.
Hello, it's Prophet Onward Gibson, your host for the Love, Life and God podcast. And welcome to this podcast. And make sure you've subscribed if you haven't, because it makes a difference for me in terms of the content and the reach, and so that you also don't miss any episode in 2026. Now, today's episode is about how to manifest your dreams, how to make sure that your dreams come true in 2026. This is, for me, it's a masterclass on turning goals into reality. Now, I want to be honest with you. We have all started 2026 with big goals. You see, this is a year that you have planned. This is a year that has been spoken to you even in your church. But this is the year that, change will not happen if you don't change yourself. Because every January, people make goals. People want to lose weight, people want a new job, they want a new life, they want a new you. And by February, most of all these goals are gone. Not because you don't care, but because the dreams we build are built on excitement and not systems. Real manifestation isn't wishing and waiting. Real manifestation is about wiring yourself. Listen, you don't attract what you want in this life. You attract what you build systems for. And that requires a lot of planning, rewiring your mind, your emotions, and your habits to make sure that it matches your vision. So, today's episode, I'm going to tell you how you can manifest in 2026. We are going to talk about alignment. We are going to talk about the psychology, the strategies behind turning your vision for 2026 into results. 2026 is not going to be your best year because you wished harder. It's going to be your year because you align deeper. First thing that you need to do, let me tell you, in my book, Too Late to Fail, I said, end before you begin. You can't start a new year when you are living in the past. So we all love beginnings, but beginnings doesn't work unless you properly end. So you end something so that you start another thing. Beginnings don't work unless you properly end. So most of us start a new year without ever ending the last one. We rush into January full of plans and resolutions, but part of us is still carrying the weight of what didn't happen in our lives last year. The goals that we missed, the relationships that ended, the business that didn't take off, the version of ourselves we thought would be by now. And so we technically get into a new year, but you realize that most of us emotionally, we are still stuck in the last year. We are still stuck in the things that did not go on well. So when you don't consciously end a year, that year lingers around. It shows up in subtle ways. You hesitate to dream because you don't trust yourself to follow through. You avoid risks because the last time that you tried, it hurt you too much. So you start over, but secretly believe that you are already behind because of what you are carrying. So that's what it means to have a year still living in your head. It keeps whispering old stories and old things into a new season. So before you decide what you want this year, you also need to ask yourself, what am I done carrying? Every new goal struggles to take root in your life because you haven't released what has been draining you. The resentment, the guilt, the habit that keeps looping around your life. So write down whatever that you think it needs to stop in this year so that you can start a new one. So whatever that you don't need to carry into the new year, make sure that you know it. What has been stopping you? What has been stopping you? What has been stopping you? Because stopping that gives you new energy to go on in a new year, and make sure that the past is not living inside of you. So, what are you doing? You are reclaiming your capacity to begin again. You can't step fully into what's next if you are still holding hands with what's over. You can't start a year strong if you have never ended the weaknesses of the last one. You can buy a planner, you can set the goals, you can repeat affirmations. But if part of you is still carrying last year's disappointments, last year's fears, or any unfinished business and stories, you're not starting afresh. You are starting crowded, because the truth is, new beginnings don't start in January. New beginnings starts in your mind. New beginnings starts the time you stop dragging old energy into new opportunities. The step number 2 is that instead of cluttering yourself with a lot of things that you want to do, resolution sometimes fails because you don't have words that you are using in terms of what you want to do. If your goal is to start a business, find a word. Your word might be build. If your goal is to lose your weight, your word might be discipline. If your dream is to launch, a podcast, your word might be you want to make sure that your voice, is heard. So you need to focus on tasks. You need to, before you set your plan, you need to set your energy. So whatever words, power words that you choose, becomes what leads you to do what you want to do. So that helps you to, to not get obsessed over goals, but start obsessing over growth. You become stronger, you become smarter, and you become better because of the little steps that you take. Because most of the time we set goals, but goals makes us measure distance, and they are very external. You need to look inward and see what are the things, what is one thing that I need to change. Because growth internal, most of the people focus on the finish line and forget the little things that they need to do so that they achieve the bigger goals. So that's why step number 3 is to create a system, not a wish list. Structures are the real secret behind every success. Every dream has 2 parts. Number 1 is intention. Number 2 is infrastructure. So you can't manifest your dream without a schedule. You can't build a business without understanding the products that you want to use for that business. You can't get fit without consistently do things that result in fit, in that in those goals that you have set for your life. So if you want to start a business, for example, make sure that you learn something about that industry. Make sure that you get new knowledge about the thing that you want to do. If you want to lose weight, for example, don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Start with what is your schedule of workout, and make sure that you track, the progress, not the outcome. Because manifestation doesn't work when you are asking for something that your habits contradict. It doesn't work if you only visualize the outcome but avoid the process. Manifestation doesn't work if you are waiting for signals instead of making sure that you actually build systems. It doesn't work if you want change but refuse to change yourself. It doesn't work when you speak the affirmations but you are living the opposite. Manifestation doesn't work if your belief expires the moment things get hard in your life or the moment that you are uncomfortable. And it doesn't work when you expect the universe to do for you what discipline is supposed to do for you. It doesn't work if you are manifesting from fear and not from a point of faith. If you are trying to control instead of creating, manifestation only works when you match intention with the right infrastructure that you need. And that gets us to step number 4. Upgrade your environment, because discipline is easier when you don't fight your surroundings. If you are trying to get off the habit, you can't be in an environment that supports that habit. If you want to get off the fizzy drinks, for example, you can't have your fridge full of fizzy drinks. You are testing yourself. So if you want to work out, but you haven't found the right gym, it will be impossible for you to achieve that goal. You need to make sure that you are in the right place. We don't fail in this life because we don't care. We fail because we are constantly testing ourselves. We are making things harder for ourselves. We are making it harder for us to be motivated. We are making it harder for us to stick to our own rules. When you look at behavioral science, it shows that 45% of our action are habitual and triggered by the environment, not by motivation. So follow this one thing and you reach your goal. If your goal is to eat better, start making sure that you love your kitchen. If your goal is to, focus on something, start learning to put, away your phone. If your goal is to save, make sure that you deal with every spending trigger. If your goal is to build business, start with your self-talk. If your goal is to find love, start with boundaries. If your goal is to grow business, start with your calendar. If your goal is to heal, start with your habits. If your goal is to be happier, start with your attention, because change doesn't begin with a goal. It begins with your environment. It begins with your environment. So change your environment so that you limit any friction points that stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. If your environment is full of noise, you'll forget what your own voice sounds like. If your environment is filled with clutter, your mind will mirror the mess. If your environment is built on chaos, it means that, there's no peace. Peace will feel like luxury. If your environment is full of doubt, confidence won't survive there. If your environment is small, your vision will start to shrink for you to fit in. If your environment is lifeless, your motivation will follow suit. So there's a reason why there is a phrase that says you are a product of your environment, because it's true. If you are surrounded by books, you are going to read books. If you are surrounded by screens, you'll be distracted. That's how this life works, especially if you need to focus. That's how the brain works. So you don't need to be in an environment where you are forcing yourself, where you are, pushing yourself, against the current, because that environment is going to work against you. And when you stay in that environment, you are working, against yourself. You are working against the goals that you have set for yourself. And that takes us to number 5. Number 5, break the all or nothing cycle. Instead of asking, did I fail? Ask, what can I learn? Instead of starting over, pick up from where you have left off. Progress is not built in the messy middle. It's not built in the perfect start. If you can stand to be bad at something first, you will never be great at anything. There's a saying that, you learn from your mistake. So if you don't start before you are ready. If you only celebrate finished products, you miss the beauty of the process. So if you chase approval, you lose momentum, because the truth is that perfectionism doesn't make you better. It makes you stuck. It's fear dressed up as high standards. Step number 6, use your emotional visualization. See it, feel it, embody it. Most people visualize success like a movie. The money, the followers, the uploads, the brain, you know, the brain doesn't respond to images. The brain responds to emotion. So if you want to start that business in 2026, picture how everything works out. Picture you selling, picture yourself making progress. If you want to lose weight, picture how good it feels to walk, into the gym, proud. Because in this life, it is emotions that fund us into preparation. Close your eyes every time, visualize what you want to see. See the vision of you in the next life. So when you see this, it makes you make the right choices every time. Feel what it feels like to be the person that you want to become. Feel the peace that comes with who you are becoming. Feel the strength that comes with who you are becoming. Feel the ease, feel the gratitude. You see, you don't have to chase this vision. You don't have to chase the vision of who you are. You need to chase of the vision of what you are becoming, blah, 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 blah. So life is made up of one choice, one breath, one act of belief at a time. Because every time you imagine, your brain builds the evidence. And every time that you see things clearly, your body, your brain start to live it. So you believe it until it feels inevitable. You reprogram your mind by seeing yourself doing the things that you normally wouldn't do and actually standing up to go and do it. Step number 7, work with resistance, not against it. Because fear is feedback and it's not failure. Every big goal triggers resistance. That's not the universe blocking you. That's your nervous system protecting you. You realize that your brain resists anything unfamiliar, even if it's good for you. So instead of you saying, why do I feel scared? Say, of course, I do. Because this is new. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving while it's shaking. You think successful people are not scared? No. Everyone's scared. The truth is that they are doing what they are doing scared. You think they are not nervous? They are doing what they are doing while they are nervous. You think they don't experience anxiety? They are experiencing anxiety while they are doing the thing that you love watching them do. This is how life works. You work with it, not against it. Because if you keep fighting it, it just gets stronger, just gets bigger, and it takes over. You don't need that in your life. So make sure that you work hard to make sure that you achieve what you want to achieve in 2026. Step number 8, build public accountability. Make your goals collaborative with your friends and competitive with other people you really love. That's healthy competition when you are accountable to yourselves about the goals that you want to achieve. In 2026, let me tell you, you don't need private promises to yourself. And you don't need more public performances for people to see. This isn't about telling everyone on Instagram or on social media. It's just about living what you desire. In this life, isolation will make you stuck, but accountability pulls you forward, especially when you are accountable to the right people. If you say, I want to start a business. You know the environment. People start saying, I think your idea is not good. My friend tried it and didn't work. Someone else will say, yeah, give it a go. See how it goes. That's not helpful. If you're around a group of entrepreneurs, they will ask you the right question. They will say, okay, what's your business about? What's your plan? How are you going to find customers? So this is the kind of community you want to be around. The problem is that we tell friends and family members we have no idea what we are doing, as opposed to telling people who actually have the experience that we need to learn from and the expertise. So when you find yourself a community that's a community that believes in what you are doing, that's really a powerful thing that you can do for yourself in 2026 as far as success is concerned. Step number 9. Step number 9 is that be grateful. Be grateful. Even the word of God encourages us to be grateful, because gratitude is fuel. Because when motivation fades, appreciation sustains. Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling. It's something that is deep. When you track progress and when you celebrate small wins, you release dopamine, which is a brain's reward chemical. That's why celebrating each step in your life, brings excitement. Number 10 is about becoming the person your dream requires. You see, identity is the ultimate manifestation too. You can't create a vision for 2026 with 2025 dream. The person who launches, a podcast speaks like a creator before the audience appears. Identity drives action, and when you act like the person who already has what you want, your brain starts catching up. 2026 won't magically change your life, but you can. The universe doesn't respond to your wishful thinking. It responds to clear energy and consistent action. So this year, don't just set goals, design your systems, choose your word, align your identity, and remember intention and infrastructure. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you're going to have an amazing and prosperous 2026. I'm here wishing you all the best. Make sure that you subscribe to my podcast and to never miss an episode. I'll be coming and guiding you throughout the year. And remember, I am forever with you. I'm forever in your corner, and I'm forever rooting for you. If we want a healthy mind, it actually starts with a healthy brain. Thank you for watching the Love, Life, and God podcast. My name is Prophet Onward Gibson. And please do not forget to like, do not forget to subscribe, and do not forget to share this podcast. Thank you.
Shine, your light has come. Today is your day to soar. Prepare your heart and raise your voice. What are you waiting for? The old has gone, the new has come. Yes, we are born anew. The love and wealth he had restored.